Have you started to develop a strategy in the Delson Consulting Group around data management, data privacy, how that data gets used? Because that's a big part of scaling now. One is how you collect it, how you're storing it, but also how you're analyzing it. Is that in your conversations?
That is part of our conversations, and I'll tell you right now, I don't have a firm resolve around it. I think
How come?
I think part of it is that the first webinar I ever did was back in 2010 or 11ish maybe, and it was around AI and data. And back then it was like, oh, big data, what is it? What is And I'll tell you, it's a topic that's always been interesting to me personally, but I think we haven't had as much of a specific client that ushered us to dig deeper into that in particular at this moment.
Hmm.
But it's definitely something that's on my mind as far as how else can we drive and provide insight into something like that.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine how it could not be, given the fact that you advise tech firms and any of the consumer focused firms or consumer products also have third party apps they create to increase their engagement and collect data. So, just as much as having a physical product is about having a non physical presence. And you can see that with the Home Depots, right? Forever 21s, all of those brands, creating those things. They have these core products that they do, but they also want to increase engagement with devices and applications to do that data collection to understand their consumers, because that's a big part of scale. If you can't engage with them, you can't scale. And I know that scaling is a big part of your strategy. So it's like, how do you protect that data as an asset for scaling, just given where technology is developing and headed, right? You can't ignore it. So that's why I was curious on your thoughts.